I recently started the viewer build series, and if you haven't seen the first one of those videos, in it I go over an early Master Rank set for melee weapons. It was a build that one of our Discord members put together to help out people just getting started in Master Rank. And wouldn't you know it, the very next day, a Discord user named Joran was looking for an early Master Rank set, but Joran wanted to play the bow. I imagine there are a lot of people in a similar situation to Joran, wanting to get started with bow, but they're not very far into Master Rank yet. So I put together a recommendation for them, tested it out, and it actually works really, really well. In the process of testing it, I discovered that Capcom did something very clever with their early Master Rank sets. Something that's really useful for bow users that allows you to take advantage of the new switch skills early on, almost like an incentive to actually learn them and use them right from the very beginning. Let's take a closer look at the build and see what I'm talking about. At first glance, this build doesn't look like much. However, people who played bow in high rank should still remember how anemic our bow builds looked back then, especially with all the importance that people put on Constitution and Stamina Surge. So this build shouldn't look terrible if you're coming straight from high rank, but it's a lot better than you might think. First we got crit boost and weakness exploit and spread up, pretty standard. Now look at this, Ballistics 3. Capcom made it extremely easy to get Ballistics 3 on an early Master Rank build. Why would they do this? The simple answer is the new switch skills, specifically Bolt Boost. Bolt Boost becomes incredibly useful with Ballistics 3. With a bit of practice, you can get 100% uptime on Bolt Boost as well as near 100% super critical distance on your shots. It's almost as if they want us to use the new switch skills. So this set has Poison Attack, which is really useful for the Chameleos bow because it's got the Poison Plus coatings. If you manage to meld a 4A talisman, which in my experience has been fairly common, it makes these coatings worth a whole lot more than their face value. It's got a couple points of Constitution, although the other nice thing Capcom gave us in Sunbreak was different level food skills. And so Dango Fighter is a lot more effective now, along with Bird Caller, which can get your stamina bar maxed out simply by running to the monster and grabbing birds along the way. So there's a lot less reliance on Constitution, Stamina Surge, and Sunbreak, and early Master Rank sets and progression sets are more powerful because of it. My talisman for this build has Evade Extender and 2 level 2 slots. For this build, you'll need 2 level 2 slot talisman to get 2 points of weakness exploit, or a talisman that has 2 weakness exploit built into it. Of course, I have far better talismans than that now, but I wanted to showcase this with a modest one that all of you should already have after playing through high rank and doing melding. The one thing I wish this set had was Bubbly Dance and Resuscitate, and that's probably the next thing I'd want to add to it. But if you don't have Bubbly on a talisman, you'll have to wait for Master Rank 4 to get it from the Mizutsune armor. One word of caution about this build, as you can see, this set does still require the Mighty Bow Feather, and you won't get the decoration for the Bow Charge Plus skill for a very long time. So you're stuck with that headgear unless you switch to the Harbinger's bow for rapid shot or the Bishatin bow for pierce. The orange Bishatin bow gives you spread with natural 4th charge level, so that's a possibility too. And if you pick one of those bows, a lot more possibilities open up for you. Agitator comes to mind as a skill that is very valuable in early Master Rank. There are other bows to consider, but it's hard to beat the level 3 slot that Chameleos bow has, as well as that spread 5 on the 4th charge level. You do have quite a few options though, so you're not locked into just one bow. And the Shroom bow, Chaotic Rapture Plus, is looking pretty attractive right about now. Now, when Joran asked me for a build recommendation, he said specifically he wanted to use a spread bow, and he didn't want to use Constitution and Stamina Surge. So I built this set around those requirements in addition to the talismans that he had available to him. If you do prefer a different shot type, this set can be adapted to that very easily and is still just as effective with a rapid up bow or a pierce bow. So my final thoughts on this build, the defense is really nice to have if you're just getting started with bow. And I definitely recommend practicing all the new switch skills, and of course the old ones too. Stake thrust is a great way to boost your damage even further and make your status coatings far more effective. Bolt boost is the single biggest damage buff you can get for bow, so practice your super critical distance, and despite what you may have heard elsewhere, Butcher's Bind is actually pretty effective, and there are methods for using it quickly and efficiently, which I'll detail in another video. So if you're in early master rank, learn your switch skills, you can rely on them to give you the damage boosts that the early bow sets are lacking in. Click the like button, subscribe to the channel, and definitely feed the hungry algorithm. It likes to eat comments for breakfast and lunch. See you soon.